Welcome to Mass Transfer Operations lecture series.
In last class, we discussed how correlations can be used to determine mass transfer coefficient. We also discussed about dimensional analysis for a particular system to find an expression for mass transfer coefficient. There are other theoretical approaches also to determine the mass transfer coefficient. We can model an actual system by making certain assumptions to find the mass transfer coefficient. So today let us discuss some theories of mass transfer which can be used to determine mass transfer coefficient. This is completely a theoretical approach. We are modeling a system based on a few assumptions and we are trying to develop an expression for mass transfer. So I'll discuss such an approach here. The first theory is known as film theory, proposed by Whitman in 1923. So it's also known as film model. Let us discuss what is this model and how can we use this model to find the mass transfer coefficient. So for this, let us assume a mass transfer operations. What you see here is a solid liquid mass transfer operations. So we have a solid A which is soluble in liquid B. Here have solid A in the left side and surrounding which is surrounded by the liquid like you see in the figure. As you know, the molecules of B which is present in liquid phase is free to move initially because this is in liquid phase. So the molecules are free to move throughout this liquid phase. But since we have a solid surrounding the liquid, surrounding means adjacent to the liquid, after some time a stagnant film of liquid will be formed near the solid. That is what you see here. Because, see, initially the liquid molecules were free to move, but when it comes to this surface here, the movement of liquid molecules is hindered by the solid because the liquid molecules can no longer penetrate into the solid surrounding the liquid. So because of that, the free movement of liquid molecules are restricted, and it is rightful to assume that the molecules of liquid which are adjacent to the solid will form a stagnant layer or stagnant film. In this film, we assume that the liquid molecules are stationary. And I would like to introduce another concept known as interface. The boundary that separates solid and liquid is termed as interface. Molecules of A present in the solid phase will diffuse through the stagnant film of liquid into the bulk liquid. Here I used the term bulk liquid because in this region the molecules are free to move. There is no influence of the solid wall here. Here the liquid molecules as well as the molecules of A that have reached this region are free to move. So let us assume concentrations at different locations. This is the interface. So we can assume the concentration of A at interface to be CAI, and this is the bulk region. Concentration of A in the bulk liquid is CAB. At the initial stage, the value of CAB will be equal to 0 because no diffusion has occurred. The concentration difference which is acting as the driving force is CAI minus CAB, and from the diagram itself it is clear that the concentration of A will always be higher at the interface. So let us try to model the system here. So we have the interface. This is the interface what you see here, and this is the stagnant film of liquid. This is the bulk liquid, and the molecules of A are moving from the interface to the bulk liquid. So let us try to understand the concentration. We have CAI. If I plot CA versus delta, that means the direction in which molecules sorry, I'm going to plot the graph between Ca and Z. Ca is the concentration and Z is the direction in which the molecules are diffusing. At the interface, I have the concentration A equals Cai, and let's say at the end of the stagnant film, we have CAB, which is concentration equal to CAB, which is equal to the concentration of the bulk Ca at the bulk region. Because from here we assume that the molecules are free and we can have a uniform concentration. To solve this, let us consider a volume element of thickness delta Z, and the flux with which molecules enter the volume element at Z is equal to Na at Z, and the flux with which molecules leave the volume element is Na at Z plus delta Z, because the thickness of the film is delta Z. I mean, thickness of the volume element that we have considered is delta Z. So in order to solve this model, we have to make a few assumptions. So assumptions of film model is number one, mass transfer occurs by molecular diffusion through the stagnant film. Here we have assumed that, see, the film is stagnant. There is no bulk motion of liquid in the stagnant film. Hence, we can rightfully assume only molecular diffusion takes place in the film. Second assumption is mass transfer occurs through film at steady state. There is no accumulation of molecules in the film. The rate of transfer is independent of time, and hence we can assume mass transfer occurs through film at steady state. Let's move on to the third assumptions. Let's write the equation for flux Na. Na is equal to Na plus Nb into this is C, not in the denominator, not Ca. Please correct it. Na is equal to Na plus Nb into Ca by C minus Dab into Dca by Dz. But since we assume that there is no bulk motion in the stagnant film, I can assume this term to be 0. So the flux Na in the stagnant film is equal to minus Dab into Dca by Dz. So the bulk flow term is neglected. Earlier in the in a few class before, I have told you this term corresponds to bulk flow and this term corresponds to molecular diffusion. Okay, so now let's try to solve this model, and we can equate the flux entering and leaving the volume element, and we can integrate and finally get an expression for flux, or we can get an expression for the concentration in the stagnant film. For that, let's see. So let's consider the volume element. So the flux with which molecules enter the volume element is Na at Z. Flux with which it leaves is Na at Z plus delta Z. And since we assume the steady state operation, rate of accumulation is equal to 0. Let's apply the mass balance, and you can write Na at Z minus Na at Z plus delta Z is equal to 0. That is, flux entering is equal to flux leaving, and there is no accumulation. Let us solve this by dividing the equation by delta Z and applying limits delta Z tends to 0. And so we get minus dNA by dz is equal to 0. Applying this condition to this equation, we will get minus dNA by dz is equal to 0. Now there is no need for any confusion. This will become Na at Z minus Na at Z plus delta Z by delta Z. And let's say apply delta Z tends to 0. So we can write minus dNA by dz is equal to 0. So we already know the expression for Na. See, we have written here. Na is equal to minus dAb dCa by dz. So let's substitute this here, and we will get dAb into d square Ca by dz is equal to 0. To solve this differential equation, second degree differential equation, we need to apply boundary conditions, and we will need two boundary conditions. Let's look at the boundary condition. So at Z is equal to 0, we have concentration of A, Za to be equal to Cai. And second boundary condition is at Z is equal to delta, Ca is equal to Zab, concentration of A at the end of stagnant region, stagnant film, because we assumed the thickness of the film to be delta. So integrating by applying boundary condition, we will get an expression for CA such that CAI minus, CA is equal to CAI minus CAI minus CAB into Z by delta. So we came to know that Ca, the concentration, is a function of Z, the direction in which the molecules are diffusing. We also know that the equation for flux Na, mass transfer through the film, Na is equal to minus dAb into dCa by dZ. So now we have an expression for Za. Let's take the derivative of Ca with respect to Z. So we get Na is equal to minus dAb by delta into CAI minus CAB. Here CI is the concentration of the interface, CAB is the concentration of air at the bulk. So now let's compare this equation with the equation for with the expression for flux using mass transfer coefficient. We know flux Na is equal to KL into CAI minus CAB, the mass transfer coefficient into concentration difference. So comparing these two, we will get KL, the mass transfer coefficient, is equal to DAB by delta. That is the value of diffusivity divided by delta, the thickness of the stagnant film. So according to film theory, the mass transfer coefficient KL is equal to DAB by delta. This expression is true only under the assumptions listed here. Or if you consider a system to behave under these conditions, we can say mass transfer coefficient KL is equal to DAB by delta. It need not be true always. So let us move to another theory which slightly overcomes the limitations of film theory. The second theory is known as penetration theory. This is used for another system. Let's assume the mass transfer or diffusion of a gas bubble into a liquid. In the first case, we were discussing the transfer of a solid molecule into a liquid system. Here, let us assume the transfer of a gas molecule into a liquid. The best example is diffusion of ammonia air mixture into a liquid. Let's say we are bubbling a mixture of ammonia and ammonia and air into the liquid. Let's say we are bubbling from the bottom, and the gas bubble, which is consisting of ammonia molecules, are moving up. Here, the ammonia represented by A suffix, let's say A molecules are ammonia molecules, are trapped or present inside the bubble. You can refer to the animation that I have shown in our first class. Are present inside the gas bubble. So the molecules A, which are trapped inside the bubble, will try to diffuse into the liquid that is surrounding the bubble, and the bubble itself is moving upwards. So the bubble is moving from, let's say, Z is equal to 0 at the bottom to Z is equal to some distance at the top, and at the same time molecules of A are diffusing into the liquid surrounding the bubble. So since we need to consider this to be an unsteady state operation, because with respect to time the molecules are moving upwards, and at the same time ammonia is diffusing into the liquid. So the interface or the boundary that should be considered is the boundary of the bubble. So the circle that you see here is the boundary layer. So what will be the concentrations? So we can assume the concentration of A at the interface is CAI, concentration of A at the liquid gas interface, concentration of A in the liquid at the liquid gas interface. That means the concentration of A at this boundary. I say it is in the liquid because at the boundary A is actually in the liquid medium. And Ca0 is the initial concentration of A in the gas. So here Ca0 or ZaB, Ca0 is equivalent to Ca means CaB, that is concentration of in the bulk liquid phase, that is here. So it is assumed to be Za0. If there are no molecules of A in the bulk liquid phase, it should be equal to 0. If so, anyway, it is also possible that some amount of dissolved gas will be present initially. So that's, let's assume that to be Za0. So I'll give you an in. So the concentration difference that is driving, acting as the driving force here is CAI minus Za0, where CAI is the concentration of A in the interface, Ca naught is the concentration of A and the bulk phase, somewhere in the bulk phase. That will be a uniform always. Okay, now in order to solve this, let us try to enlarge the gas bubble. So what you see here is the gas bubble which is trying to move upwards. Also, it should be assumed that should be noted that the liquid molecule, because of the rising bubbles, the liquid is mixed thoroughly. So, a lot of eddies will be formed here, and the liquid molecules are thoroughly mixed. It should also be noted. So now let's try to elaborate or enlarge this figure for our understanding. So here the molecules are moving up in, the gas bubble is moving up in Z direction. Well, what will happen when the bubble moves up? When the bubble moves up, there will be a liquid, the small packets of liquid surrounding the bubbles like you see here. But when it moves up, it will also be swept away. That means liquid elements will slide down from the surface, from the top of the surface of the bubble to the bottom. So when this ball moves up, because the bubble is in a spherical shape, the molecules of liquid which are attached to the surface will slide away along the surface of the bubble, and it will finally detach at the bottom. When they get detached, what is happening? Some of the molecules of A will become soluble in the liquid, and they will be transferred into the liquid medium. So that is how the mass transfer actually occurs here, based on assumption of penetration theory. So let us move on to the more assumptions that we used in order to develop this model. Here the assumptions are: first one, unsteady state mass transfer occurs. So we, in the previous case we assumed a steady state operation, but here we are saying the operation is unsteady. Now equilibrium is attained at the gas liquid interface. So as the molecule moves upwards, an equilibrium exists between the an equilibrium exists at the gas liquid interface. Third assumption is each liquid element is in contact with the gas at gas liquid interface for same length of time. You can see different liquid elements are here. As the molecule moves up, a fresh packet or element of liquid will be attached. Whatever molecules or whatever elements of liquid are attached here will stay at the surface of the bubble for equal amount of time. That is our third assumption. Since we assume the mass transfer operation to be unsteady state, we have to use fixed second law of diffusion to solve, which second law of diffusion states dou Ca by dt is equal to dAb into dou square Ca by dou Z square. So based on our assumptions, let us assume some conditions here. Ca is the concentration of A. Let's see what are the locations. So to solve this, we need to know the concentration of A at the interface, gas liquid interface, that is the boundary separating the gas, boundary separating the bubble and the liquid. Also, we should know the concentration of A in the bulk fluid, Ca naught. Only if there is a concentration difference, the diffusion of A will occur from the interface to the bulk liquid. And also it should be noted that the molecule is the gas bubble is moving from at a location Z is equal to 0, that is bottom of the liquid region, to the top of the liquid, that is at Z is equal to some distance. So the bubble is constantly moving upwards, and also the molecules of A inside the bubble are diffusing to the liquid. So three conditions are required. We should know what is Z, we should know what is the time, we should also know what is the concentration of A at the interface and at the bulk. Okay, so let's try to figure out that. So we can assume these things. The concentration of A is equal to Ca naught at T is equal to 0 for all Z. That means let's say at T is equal to 0, irrespective of the position of the bubble, let's assume the concentration of A in the bulk liquid is equal to Za naught. Ca is equal to Cai at Z is equal to 0 for all T greater than 0. That means at any time when the bubble is at a location Z is equal to 0, that is whenever the bubble is at the bottom of the container, the value of concentration of A at the interface is equal to Zai, because from the bottom the bubble is moving upwards, and as the bubble move upwards the molecules are diffusing into the liquid. So this assumption is irrespective of the time when the bubble is at the bottom, that is at the Cz is equal to 0, the concentration of A at the interface is Zai. So then what will be the initial concentration? Zai minus Za0. So because that will act as a driving force, and as the bubble move upwards the molecules of A will diffuse into the liquid. Okay, now the third condition is at Z is equal to infinity, Za is equal to Za naught for all T. That means at any condition when the bubble reaches the top, that means Z is equal to infinity, the bubble is escaping from the liquid, so that it is supposingly it reaches the top, the concentration of A in the bulk will be equal to Za naught. This assumption is based on the basis that the liquid is in constant motion, and immediately the molecules of A will be uniformly distributed into the liquid, and the concentration equal to Za naught will be achieved. So you have to learn these conditions, and I hope you understood how we have reached these conclusions. So based on these conditions, we can solve this equation, and finally we will get the average flux with which molecules were diffusing. So Na average is equal to 2 into Cai minus Za naught into dAb by pi theta. Here we have assumed we have term pi because we have assumed the bubble to be spherical. Okay, so let's compare this with respect to our equation for mass flux Na based on mass transfer coefficient. So it says that Na is equal to Kl into Ca minus Ci minus Za naught. So comparing these two equations, we get Kl average is equal to root of 4 dAb by pi theta. So here Kl average is proportional to root of dAb. So according to penetration theory, Kl is equal to square root of 4 dAb by pi theta. But what was the value of Kl based on film theory? That states Kl is equal to dAb by delta. So we got two different expressions for Kl based on two different assumptions. So you have to choose the expression based on the conditions. You should be able to think what will be the appropriate theorem to be followed. So that will purely depend on the conditions in which mass transfer occurs. So in the case of a mass transfer of a solid into the liquid, you will have to use the film theory. If it is the transfer of gas molecules which are bubbled into a liquid, then you will have to use penetration theory. Even the penetration theory has a lot of drawbacks. So to overcome these drawbacks, there is another theory known as surface renewal theory put forward by Danckwerts. So this also have sort of a few assumptions which are used to overcome the limitations. The first assumption is the liquid elements at gas liquid interface are being randomly replaced by fresh liquid. In penetration theory, we assumed that the molecule or a liquid packet which will be absorbed at the top of the bubble, and it will slide down the surface of the bubble. But it need not be true. This is in constant motion. The liquid is in constant motion here. A lot of eddies will be formed. It definitely, the liquid elements will be replaced at different time intervals. It may not reach the bottom and detach. It can detach from anywhere in the surface. So let's say it reached only this level and it is getting detached. So now what will happen? A fresh eddy will again get attached to the surface. That is also a form possible. So according to a surface renewal theory, the liquid elements at gas-liquid interface are being randomly replaced by the fresh liquid. That is a very correct assumption. Next is unsteady state mass transfer occurs at gas-liquid interface. We have made this assumption in previous case also. Now the third assumption is some elements may move quickly while by the that means some elements may quickly be swept away by the eddies, or some element may stay at the interface for a longer time. So that means, see, here we assume that whatever elements of liquid that are getting attached to the surface will spend equal time before it get detached. But that need not be true. Different volume elements that are getting attached can spend different time on the surface of the bubble based on the point at which they are detaching. So if it is detaching at the bottom, they will spend more time in the surface of the bubble. So if they are getting detached from maybe say at this location, it will spend less time. So here they have assumed that some elements will move quickly through the surface of the bubble. Some element will spend more time in the surface of the element. Okay. So thus, to a great extent, the limitations of penetration theory is overcome. So based on these assumptions, if we solve the respective equations, you'll get KL, mass transfer coefficient, is equal to root of DAB into S, where S is the frequency of replacement. That means the frequency at which the liquid elements are being replaced from the surface of the bubble. You don't need to learn more details about these theories because they are really complicated. You just need to know the expressions, three different expressions obtained based on three various assumptions. So here we get KL is equal to root DAB into S. Earlier we got DAB KL is equal to root of 4 DAB by pi theta. So these are more or less same, but there are little difference. Okay, so this is another way of determining the mass transfer coefficient, because if we know the mass transfer coefficient, we can easily quantify the rate of mass transfer.